We just saw that third peak right there. And then we're going down here. The amplitude's getting smaller again.
Your turn.
No, really, your turn. There's microphones. We'd love to hear ideas, things you've done.
One of the interesting things that we have tried is to build kinetic art using shape memory alloys and things like that, because you could leave it out in the sun, and actually we did this, and then when the sun rises, it opens up. So it's a really, we did one because we converted, you know the sculpture called the thinker?
Mm-hmm.
We converted it into the doer. So it would sit like this, and then when the sun comes, it stands up. You could do that because it was reasonably close to a running pose, right? And we did that in our university, and it turns out that the sun has to be right, and it would do only 2 times a year. But there's a lot of interest with this morphing material by the arts community, and we should actually kind of get that into.
Yes.
I used to work in New York City, and I do batteries of odd shapes and sizes, and there's a big push for some reason that I still don't understand for clothes that have batteries in them. So I worked with some fashion designers about what the requirements were, and what was great about that is that nothing has been easier for me to publish than batteries that flex. It's been incredibly easy to push it out compared to everything else. But the specifications that get for high impact journals have nothing to do with what
the back. Yep.
In the project management class I teach, I ask engineers to share the kinds of, talk about the kinds of instruments they play and the kind of music they play. And there are lots of engineers who love to play music, and talk about how different projects, some projects are like symphonies where every movement has to be very carefully scripted and they're very complicated and everybody has to know what everybody's going to do every minute. Others are like jazz where there's a real emphasis on improvisation and you have to know what kind of music you need to play given the type of project and the culture that you're playing in.
So it's going to make this panel to do the one sentence description of your art and engineering, since they're all hodgepodge in there, in case you want to talk to people later.
I did one where it was the guitar string very simple platform with one guitar string. We used it in engineering and in electrical engineering for a variety of different things, but it was very cheap and it was something that a lot of students really enjoyed.
So mine wasn't exactly art and engineering, it's actually engineering and humanities. I teach with story and technology, and we incorporate art in our projects in a couple of different ways. One is through trips to the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston. But the lens that we're looking at things is kind of a technology lens, but we're looking at art at the museum. So a lot of emphasis on materials, a lot of emphasis on materials-related processes, but through the
Can you turn on the mic, please?
Looks like it's not.
It is now.
It's on now?
Okay, thank you.
Okay. My innovation idea was to take the real-time effect that music can have on the kind of thinking that people do when they hear the music. So there are music components that, when repeated, will promote divergent thinking, and music components that, when they're repeated, will promote convergent thinking. And if we expose novice learners of the design process to those types of music components at the appropriate times, we can help them develop metacognitive skills that will help them manage their own design thinking.
Yes, I've merged the visual arts and electricity through the development of squishy circuits, so Play-Doh circuits, and then also e-textiles. And then we've done a lot of work in dynamics, working with dancers and circus training, and finally looking at the engineering of food.
I've been working with a percussion ensemble, Third Coast Percussion from Chicago, and composer Glenn Kochi, who is also the drummer for the rock band Wilco, and you may have seen him on TV in a Delta Faucet commercial with somebody playing the four tops on Delta Faucets. And we've been exploring how both experimentation and analysis, as well as synthesis and design, play out in both domains, and some of the commonalities that exist in the way practitioners operate in both engineering and music.
So I've really been looking into, I guess I just coined a phrase, relational learning. Can we learn by relating to other disciplines, other types of media, so to speak? And with that, looking at teaching circuits by using the water fluid dynamics analogy and getting students to understand through their senses what they could see, feel, hear, and then use that to teach abstract concepts in the mathematics.
So this is our idea for moving forward for our group. Coming up with how do we progress with this is an ongoing informal conversation between interested faculty members, including monthly Google Plus Hangouts and an in-person meeting at ASE starting in 2015, in which we share ideas and experiences.
Mm-hmm. We had another comment?
Thank you very much. I am pleased with this presentation and this thought. It is absolutely critical for our engineering design to implement art. And I'm providing one lecture which relates to architecture and golden section. And in golden section exists some sort of coefficient, and the same coefficient exists in human dimensions. So I provide a lot of, not a lot, but I have 4 examples when I provide this type of link. And even in biomedical engineering, we need some sort of first step or first thought how we can provide the estimation just to start our measurements. And golden section is also coming here. So even talking about the sound, there is some sort of the very unique frequency of the sound. When we, as a human, we prefer to make sway. So once again, even in rehabilitation, when we are bringing different devices, we have to remember that this particular frequency, it is something what comes also from the music, and it is confirmation for our design. And from another side, we have a proof that absolutely we need to be synchronized with the art, with the music, and it is very nice right now what you provide, and it is a proof of concept. Thank you.
All right, let's thank our group here.